Howdy ho, we're going to take a look at one more ETF today. It is EWZ, which is the most popular Brazil ETF. This is one that we track every day at TrendLizard.com, so pretty familiar with it. It's a beautiful ETF. When this thing moves, man, it really moves, and it's a lot of fun to trade the triple leveraged version of this, BRZU, as well, which I like to do when this thing gets moving. So we're going to take a look at it from the 30,000 foot view all the way into the current action. So this is the 30,000 foot view. It was incepted back in 2000, had a large pullback at that time, put in a low in 2002, gave us a beautiful 5-wave trendy advance into the 2007 high, and hasn't been able to best that yet or anywhere close, but that kind of set the stage for its long-term outlook. So what we have here is a very trendy up move. After that high was recorded, a very large counter-trend pullback played out over the course of about 8 years or so. Very sharp decline in 2008, very nice recovery, choppy, messy stuff, and a very large pullback in 2014, 15 into early 2016. So after it recorded a low in early 2016, it has been on the recovery path. There have been some swings along the way, to be sure, but it does look like a major low was recorded in 2016, and something larger to the upside has begun since then. So I think overall, on a long-term time frame, EWZ looks absolutely beautiful, and it looks like it's going to head significantly higher over time. There are some levels that it has to kind of support or find support at to keep that on track, but as it appears to be at this time, this looks very bullish, and it looks like it's going to continue higher overall. So let's zoom in a little bit, see what else we can figure out here. This is the advance off the 2016 low right here. It is a nice 5-wave advance as well, just like this move was back in 2002 to 2007. Obviously, this is a smaller move, but it too is a trendy move. Every up leg is taken on a 5-wave form, as we expect trendy moves to do. Every pullback has been a 3-wave move, so on and so forth. So this initial up leg that began in 2016, early 2016, did complete at the 2018 high that happened earlier in the year. No doubt about it. The pullback that followed, that chopped it from about 46 down to about 31, is big enough that it's crystal clear that this up leg completed, a larger pullback has begun. So the bigger question that we have to ask ourselves at this point is the pullback over? It's staged a very nice rally since it found a low back in June. And so the question is the pullback over, or is it going to continue? So my thought is that the pullback is not yet over. So we know that counter trend pullbacks play out in 3 waves. And what I see here is 1 wave down. I don't really see anything that could be mistaken as a 3-wave move, followed by what would be the resumption of the uptrend. So to me, this looks like just maybe halfway through the overall pullback. It doesn't mean it's going to lose another 50% of its value or whatever it was, 33% of its value that it did in early 2018. But I do think that lower levels are coming. Another reason why I think that is just the way this is played out off the low. So the actual low occurred earlier in June. Tried to bounce, failed, tested it, and then went up from there. So it looks to me like the initial down leg actually ended earlier in June, and this is all part of a B-wave recovery effort. The strength of this move makes me wonder if maybe there's a possibility that something more directly bullish is happening, but I think as is, unless there's proof otherwise, I think you have to think that a larger pullback is going to play out again, unless there's something that indicates otherwise. So the things that would indicate otherwise, one would be a move above 40.50. Still would take a while before that happens, so that's not super useful, but it's a level to keep an eye on. Something else it could do is give us a nice up leg here, follow that by a counter trend pullback to kind of set up additional strength, and that would be my cue to, hey, maybe it's worth testing at this point. Even though I think that a larger pullback will form, that would be a good enough excuse to give it a chance to continue directly higher from here. So if you get a trendy up leg followed by a counter trend pullback, then you could look to buy it as it kind of goes up again. But I think the expectation at this time has to be that a larger pullback is going to form. A move below 33.50 at any time says for a fact the pullback's not over and that lower levels are coming. So that's how I would trade this guy. It's a super fun ETF. Once it gets moving, it's clearly moving now. Once things are clear, then it can really rack up some profits pretty quickly like we did back in 2017. It closed about 120% return with that BRZU ETF in my own account, and I look to trade this guy as often as I can. I just don't think it's a buying opportunity quite yet. Let's let it develop a little bit more. and go from there. So I hope that's helpful. Again, this is Ryan at TrendLizard.com. We analyze ETFs every day, the 40 largest that are traded in the market, and I can do custom analysis of any ETF or stock that you want. Come visit us, come sign up, and I can provide you the same service that you're seeing here. So have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.